NerveSpa family, Scott here, and today I am chatting with Eric and Jennifer Narrell from Restore Health Center um, over in the beautiful west coast of Florida. And they have been good enough to chat with us about their experience working with NerveSpa. So, guys, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dr. Eric Norrell, my wife Jennifer Norrell, and yes, we're over in Bonita Springs, Florida, in Southwest Florida, and been in practice 25 years. Began really specializing in neuropathy back in 2018. It's a passion of mine because my mother had this condition, and I watched her suffer for 6 years. And at the time, just being just a straight chiropractor, I did everything I knew to do at the time. Come to the office more often, eat this, don't eat that, take this supplement, don't take this, all of that, and nothing helped. And watched her symptoms progress and go the conventional medical route. And as we all know, we know where that heads. And unfortunately, after 6 years, she passed.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm going to go figure this out, and I want to help people. And so she passed in 2017, and it was in 2018 that investigated, kind of found that there was some FDA cleared devices that were able to help with neuropathy. And so we began the process of marketing and serving neuropathy patients here in Southwest Florida. Um, when we started off, we used some equipment that probably a lot of people know that's out there. And what
I
we found,
remember, I remember stopping off at your clinic, sight unseen. You're probably like, man, who's this crazy dude just cold calling us? You know?
right, right, yeah, and at first you brought over, the nerve spa and all that entails, with the lights and the foot bath and all of the supplements. And at the time we were having good results. And I think, like a lot of people that are maybe watching this, you're kind of like, well, Murphy's Law, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we had a system, we had a process, we were getting good results. However,
So what made you give us a try? Now, I mean, it couldn't have been my charm. I mean,
But
so what?
we were having issues. We were having issues with equipment breaking and having to be repaired. So we were having some issues. And then also your light did a lot more than the light we had.
yeah. So at the time, I was in, you do something for a while, you get good at it, look into the science of it. And the equipment that we were using before only had one wavelength of infrared light. And I wanted to have more broad spectrum. I especially wanted the red light for just the benefits of that for symptom relief. And so they were the companies that were not going to go down that path. Also, the digital nerve regenerator that we were using at the time, and kind of the same application as far as the foot bath. We were just having issues with things breaking down, not lasting. Same with the lights that we were using at the time. And also, I just didn't like the look. I was like, this is really very 1996. And your equipment you brought in, we looked at it. It looked clean. It looked sharp. The presentation was great. The use of it was very easy. I liked the idea that it was, a lithium battery instead of having to replace a 9 volt, which when you're talking to patients, that's kind of janky. So in any case, so we jumped in, and I think it took you probably a good 6 months or a year, I think,
Yeah,
before we were
you guys were a challenge, that's for sure. I mean,
yeah,
it
you're
was
not the
probably Jennifer's fault, right? I think you
no,
mentioned
no, no,
that.
no. Well, no, yeah. I mean, once I kind of started researching it, I am someone who I'm kind of ready, fire, aim. I'm not afraid to make things quickly. But Jennifer was like, no, absolutely not. We got a thing. Why?
Research.
And so I'm feeding her the research, and eventually she's like, yeah, this makes sense. And then also, not to put too fine a point on it, the price point was better as far as, what our cost versus, what we retail it for. And so all in all that being said,
We've been very happy. And
yeah,
the customer service is incredible too.
yeah,
And now it's been a hot now, now that we got past all that, and you guys came to your senses. Oh, did I say that? Oh, I said that out loud. You know, but here we are. We've been working together for a hot minute, and jokes aside, what's keeping you around? I mean, you've had a couple of years at least working with us and developing a partnership and a friendship, but really, what keeps you guys, continuing? Because you guys are using a lot of our stuff. It's organically grown to the NerveSpa, our LED wrap, use our Quake plate. You've
Yep.
just recently started using more of our nutrition. So, what's responsible for that?
Well, you definitely met the quality of everything we used before and above. So we're getting better quality. So we wanted to, meet that. And then the expectations actually were better. So the quality was actually better. And then customer service outstanding. And then the price, the price was better as well. So
Yeah, and obviously patient out for me,
yeah,
she kind of runs everything. I'm just the monkey in the back, like I tell my
it's
patients.
the most important thing, the
But
success.
but the patient outcome, we
Yeah.
are, and of course, with the volume of patients that we see and with the number of initial exams, halfway exams, and end of care, initial care plan exams, I can confidently say that our patients, less than 5%, don't show little to no improvement. So 95% are showing 30 to 40% improvement from their day one to week 10, 11, or
Excuse me.
12 when we do our into the initial care plan exam, and that's hundreds, if not thousands, of cases since we've been working with you.
And
And
I
so
and I take it that's a positive, right?
100%. Yeah. And patients are happy. And the service after the sale, like any product, there's always going to be some issues sometimes with something. And, we just have them call NerveSpa or you, Scott, directly, and it's handled and it's done. And so it's not like you guys work directly with the patient instead of us having to be a middleman and trying to manage how we're getting stuff through. Great for us, as busy as we are. So quality, uh, our cost of the goods, and follow-up,
Yeah.
and customer
Patient-
service,
Yeah, patient
and
outcome.
patient outcomes. That's
And
why we're still here.
And the issues have been more of our patients caused it, like
Yeah.
dropped it in the water, or
Yeah.
that's really been the biggest thing is somebody dropped
That might
dropped.
be something we may not be able to totally control, but
Yeah.
working on it. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
but and I will tell you guys, I mean, we've gotten to a point where we're friends. I
Yep.
dare to say, and we could joke around and kid, but building up that rapport with you guys and the partnership, um, it means a lot because I do remember where this started. Just stopping in your clinic sight unseen and
Yep.
stopping again and you know I'm a smidge tenacious, so I know I followed up with you guys, and you gave it a shot, and it was, and you guys are probably a bit like me, where you get used to something, and you're not so quick to just dismiss that. So I respect. I get it. So the fact that we started off there and we're at this point now after years, that means a lot to me. So the friendship and the partnership and the loyalty and the feedback. It's all really appreciated. And, I'm always excited to talk about NerveSpa because we always have some really cool stuff going on. I had mentioned this to another doc last week. Where NerveSpa is always in growth mode. So it's kind of cool. I'm excited to continue to bring really cool stuff to you guys and to help you meet the goals of your clinic.
Awesome.
Yeah,
We're
we're
very excited too.
definitely excited, and couldn't be more pleased with our relationship up to this point. And I know that there's been doctors in the neuropathy space across the country that have reached out to me, and I know I've definitely told them, talk to Scott with NerveSpa, because if you're looking for quality products that get uh, outcomes that you can count on and you can bank on, NerveSpa is the way to go as far in the neuropathy space for sure.
Well, not for enough. Hey, thank you. That's a great way to close this interview. But FYI, everybody, we're not just the neuropathy guys. We, of course, we have a whole suite of neuropathy products, but we actually got some pretty cool stuff for joint pain, and we've very much broadened our supplements as well. So to piggyback off of what you said, um, we've got a plethora of really cool stuff in what a lot of docs call the specialty niches or the cash
Yeah.
niches. So anyway, listen, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate the candor and the loyalty. Thank you guys for making me work for your business all these years. Um, but looking forward to continuing to grow the partnership and friendship and helping you guys help your patients.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you,
been
Scott.
awesome. Thank you, Scott.